Wanted to make a little video here about this channel and the goals of this channel, and kind of a video on what we're going to be kind of working on and what my shop is kind of involved with. I'm not going to be a big content poster or a big commenter or anything like that, because it's a one-man show and I have to work to make a living and service all these customers to the best of my ability and as reasonably time frame turnaround as possible. So I'm just not going to be a big content producer, but I feel like the quality of my content will make up for the lack of it, I guess. So I guess we'll call this video 1 here. This is kind of a neat project that we're doing for a customer. This is basically an almost complete aftermarket short block for a Model A Ford. Company called Burtz, B-U-R-T-Z, makes these, and it's a complete aftermarket new Model A block with completely redesigned oiling system, main webbing, everything. It's basically designed to be a daily driven Model A today. So you can drive an old car, Model A, every day, which is kind of hard to believe, but this should make it possible. So my first go around with one of these engines. But the cool thing really is the updates they made. So a standard Model A typically only has 1, 2, 3 mains. Well, this has 5. And this crank here, let me get back here. This is a factory Model A crank right here. And this is the Model A crank that goes in that block. So you can see it's fully counterweighted for the engine to idle smoothly and not vibrate. And the rods are also different too. I still got this one on the piston, but so you can kind of see the difference here in the rods. So this is the aftermarket rod. This is the stock rod for a Model A. And the bearings that go in the rods are the same bearings that go on the mains, and they're for a 327 small journal Chevrolet. So it's easy to get, no issues there, it's fully floated. And because an original Model A had what's called a Babbitt bearing, and you can see there, it's not a removable item. It's basically there's a special jig that they set these up in, and we don't do this here. We sub it out. Company called Paul's Rod and Bearing. They specialize in this type of stuff if you want to really restore one of these period correct. But it's basically a poured bearing. It's melted, poured in there, and then you have to bore all the rods, and those X marks are, they figured, to help with oiling, because these original Model A didn't have a pressurized oiling system. They had what's called dippers. So you can see that hole on the bottom of the rod cap goes all the way through into the housing bore. So when the rod spins around like this, every time it'd go into the pan, it would dip into the oil and dip into the oil. And you can see the direction that that's kind of facing. So you got to put these in the correct way in direction of rotation, so it actually dips into the oil. So it's kind of neat way that they kind of dealt with that, because there weren't pressurized oiling systems in them things. Also, they updated, because the original seal on a Model A is not really even a seal. It's just kind of, lack of a better word, it's kind of like just two metal lips that kind of overlap, and that's how it's sealed. I mean, these things just leaked, and that was part of it. But this will actually take a actual late model like Viton lip seal on this thing, so it won't leak. But the neat thing is you can put a Model A head on it, stock one, side cover, front cover, water neck, camshaft. These are even stock replacement Model A pistons that we got from Iggy. So I mean, it's really kind of a neat deal for this customer. So once you get it in the car, built and in the car and painted and whatnot, externally it'll look exactly like a Model A Ford, but internally it'll be to where a guy could really just drive it however he wanted to and go wherever he wanted to with it, not have to worry about it. So anyway, that's a pretty neat project. I thought people would like to see. So just stay tuned, and like I said, bear with me on content. It's going to be a little slow posting because I do have to take care of my customers, and they take top priority on things. And I guess since we're in here, I've got a couple Fords going on. I've got this one here too. It's a 5-liter Coyote that's been re-sleeved with Darton sleeves, and that's going to be getting a set of JE Ultra Series pistons in that. So anyway, just stay tuned, and we'll work on some pretty neat things around here. And you know, if I'm not going to be able to reply to all the comments and different things. I don't have the time. So anyway, stay tuned, and we'll have some more content coming.